welcome to our Hook and Light Live for Yorkshire Yarn Fest. I'm just going to wait a moment for a few people to join the live. We don't want to start too soon. I hope you're all enjoying Yorkshire Yarn Fest so far. We've really enjoyed it. We've done it quite a few times and it's always a really great event. So if you don't know who we are, I'm Melissa, and in a moment you'll see Iris, who is my sister, and we're the owners of Hook and Light. Hook and Light is our business which we started because we have an enjoyment of knitting and yarn and we enjoy doing those things, but also we really value the environment and natural yarns and naturally dyed yarns and using real British wool rather than wool that's gone through the superwash process, which is something that if you're interested in finding more out about, you can see a blog which is on our website as well that Iris wrote, which is really interesting and really delves into actually the environmental implications of superwash. So Iris and I grew up actually in Yorkshire in a small town called Beverley, and our parents are both scientists and work around climate change. So we've always had that real focus on sustainability and thinking about our planet, which is why all of our yarn is dyed using plants, things that we've found in sort of our kitchen, like onion skins, avocado stones. We grow quite a lot of our dye materials down our allotment and in the back garden. Things that lots of people probably will already have in their back gardens, like marigolds or cosmos, that are both nice to look at but actually make really beautiful natural dyes. We also source a few of our dyes from further afield, things like Brazil wood, which you can't obviously source in the UK or grow in the UK, but we always make sure that we source those things in a sustainable way, because there are some natural dyes which are natural but are actually part of some quite negative things for the environment in terms of deforestation and things. So we do use some from further afield, but we're quite picky on which ones we use. In terms of our yarn, I've already mentioned that we use natural wool yarns which are not superwash, and I think there can be a kind of misconception that if it's not superwash it's scratchy or it's perhaps not as comfortable in any way, but I wouldn't say that that's true at all. If anything, I'd say it's the opposite. I think that wool that hasn't gone through the superwash process is really soft. I'm wearing naturally dyed yarn right now and it's really comfortable. I don't find it scratchy at all, and I would just really recommend that you try it sometime and give it a go. Our yarn is also sourced from a company local to Yorkshire, and we use almost exclusively British wool, barring I think the Falkland Marina. Yeah, just barring the Falkland Marina. But again, it's sourced and from Yorkshire, which is always really nice. So I don't know, Iris, is there anything else you can think of, or should we move on to something else?
I think we can move on straight into looking at some yarns.
Yeah. And I guess if you have any questions, I'll be monitoring the feed, so just post them on there and we'll answer them for you.
Excellent. So I'm Iris, so I am the other part of Hook and Light, and I'm going to show you a few of our yarns in a bit more detail. So I think Melissa is going to hand me something,
absolutely.
And I'll tell you a little bit about
start with some of the double knit, because we often asked about that, aren't we? So.
Okay, yes. So we have a range of different bases and different weights, and the first one Melissa has passed me here is our double knit yarns. So we have two bases. I think predominantly at the moment it's a Blueface Leicester that's in stock. So we have a double knit Blueface Leicester, which has a worsted spun, and it has a kind of a little bit of a shine, which is really lovely. If you've ever knit with Blueface Leicester before, you know it's really a really lovely base. It has a gorgeous drape. It also has a little bit of a halo, which is really nice in the finished piece. So we have these, I think, currently in two colourways. So this is indigo, dyed with indigo, surprisingly enough. And this bottom one here called peach, which is dyed with Brazil wood and madder. So those are those two. And then, is this the last one of these?
I think that is the last one.
I think this is the last one of these. So this is a double knit Falkland Merino in the colourway Ocean, which is kind of this mild oceany blues and greens, and this is dyed with indigo as well, and chamomile and marigold that we've grown ourselves.
Should we hold that one a bit closer because it's got quite a nice like variegated. There we go.
Yes. So that's those.
So then I think everything else is 4-ply.
Should we start with the blue-faced Leicester 4-ply? So we have the blue-faced Leicester in the double knit, but we also have a 4-ply blue-faced Leicester. And this is actually one of my personal favourite yarns to knit with because it has a more open spin, which maybe you can see here. So it's still worsted, but it has a 2-ply spin, and it has a really nice halo as well. And it's just really light and lovely to knit with, and really soft. So we have a few different colourways in stock currently of this. If you can see them here. Yes. So we've got this light colour, which is called Blue Skies, and this is dyed with indigo as well. Then we have Berries, which is dyed with logwood and Brazilwood. This is kind of blues and pinks. And then these two, which are slightly different but similar. So this is Blossom, this is more pink colours and bits of greeny yellows. And here we've got California, which is like a rich mustardy yellow with pink. So that's those. And then we have a couple slightly more special, one more special base, which is this really lovely Falkland Merino 75% plus 25% silk. And this is also a 4-ply, and it has obviously a gorgeous shine, really lovely drape, and it is just really lovely to knit with. So we have that in these two colourways called Rhubarb and Sunshine. And then this one will probably should go. Okay, and then we have this naturally grey yarn base, which creates these really lovely deeper tones. So this is Cormo wool from the Falklands as well, again obviously non-superwash, and this is very similar to the one that Melissa was wearing in the jumper. It's called Bronze. And then we have probably what is our biggest category of yarns, which is the Falkland Marina 4-plies, and I'm just going to show you a few of those. And this is 100% Falkland Merino. It is really a gorgeous yarn. It's so bouncy, fluffy. This here is made with a Falkland Merino, and although it's a 4-ply, once you wash it and block it, it really blooms, so you can get so much out of one skein. So this is by far, actually it's one of the first and the most popular colourway that we've ever dyed, and it's called Wildflower. Of course each skein comes, or each batch comes out a bit differently, but this one has really rich tones with purples, pinks, yellows, greens, and it is in this shawl here, it forms this middle section. So it's really very popular and really gorgeous colourway. And then we have lots of others. We've got some more solid colours like this, which is dyed with Woad. So Woad is an indigenous British plant that actually also produces the indigo pigment, and this is dyed from Woad that we actually grew ourselves as well. And then we've got a few kind of semi-solid speckles in, and this is called Sprinkles. I'll just show you, I guess, a few more, but you can just go on our website and you'll see all of these different colours. So we have this called Autumn, got an indigo and Blossom as well. So lots of really lovely colours there, and also something really bright. So natural dyes don't have to be pastel coloured, they can also be really bright as well. Okay, so I think I'll spend the last 5 minutes.
No, what is it? Let me double check. Yeah,
the last 5 minutes talking a little bit about dye kits. So this is something that we've been dabbling in over the past few years, but I think we're getting more interested in promoting, helping you learn how to do natural dyes and play around with it yourselves. So at the moment we have 2 kits in stock, which is a natural dye kit for yarn, so a yarn natural dye kit, and a silk scarf natural dye kit. So the yarn kit, as you imagine, is for dyeing yarn. So it comes in this box with a nice little drawing on the front of the plant of interest. So in this case, this is for madder. And inside the box, you'll find a skein of our Falkland Marina 4-ply, undyed of course, a little jar of a naturally occurring salt called alum, which helps the colours stick to the yarn. Then you'll also get a bag full of your dye material and a label to add to your yarn when you're finished, and of course some instructions as well, a little booklet instructions which are now stuck, but that gives you all the information you need to be able to dye the yarn yourself. So we have these in madder, which produces a red, logwood, which makes purple, and I think also a few in marigold to make a yellow. And then something we've really enjoyed doing is bundle dyes, or kind of flower printing, eco printing, that sort of thing. And one of the really great places to start with this is with these silk scarves. So we have kits where you can make a little silk scarf like this yourself, dyed with all sorts of really nice natural colours. So these make really cute little hair bows as well, really nice little presents, but also obviously the kit itself is a really nice gift for someone who you know is environmentally conscious, or you know, a bit crafty, something like that. So for these kits, again it comes in a little box with a little drawing on the front, and inside you'll find a number of little packets with dye materials in. So little cotton pouches. So you can get this kit with either one of the square silk scarves, two of the square silk scarves, or one or two bigger, thicker, kind of more luxurious scarves. So these are great if you're looking for, you know, just to try it out. You don't want anything too expensive, but it's quite transparent, but obviously still really gorgeous. Whereas in contrast, you could upgrade to this thicker, longer scarf, which would be more like an actual scarf. So yeah, the kits will come either with one or two of these scarves, so you can make it with a friend or something, which is really fun. And a range of different dye materials, which are at random, so you'll have to see what you get in each kit.
But I think it's worth saying that they'll still complement each other.
Yes, natural dyes never really clash, as you can see by our little minis, which are here. So we've got little mini sets, and you can see we've got all different colours of the rainbow here, basically, and there's not really any clashing that can be seen here. So lots of different colours. So really, really lovely. So you'll have all sorts of gorgeous colours on those silk scarves. And then, so we've got 2 more minutes. Yes.
Unearth them.
1 second. So if you are interested in getting a few eco-printed things, but you don't want to make it yourself, we do have a couple of little drawstring bags, which are good little project bags, with our Hook and Light logo on the front, stamped on the front, and these are dyed with various different plants. This one I believe is hollyhock and cochineal, which I guess is not a plant but an insect. And then here's some with indigo tie-dye as well, and kind of a more speckled effect. So we've got lots of these in stock as well if you just want something different to put your projects in, and are interested in natural dyes. Because I know we've already got too much yarn, so maybe something different is nice as well. Excellent. So thank you for joining us again for Yorkshire Yarn Fest. Of course, thanks to Sophie for organising this fantastic event so often. I don't know how she does it. It's really amazing. So hopefully we will see you again in the future, or in one of the in-person events later in the year as well. So thank you.